In my last video, I discussed the elements of greatness within System Shock 1 and why it retains a unique gameplay experience due to its, quote, terrible controls and interface. Night Dive Studios, the studio who released System Shock Enhanced Edition, are now kickstarting a remake, a full remake, and have released a pre-alpha demo. There are a few things that worry me about this remake, and a few things that set my mind at ease. It's nice to see that Night Dive seems to be interested in System Shock as a whole, being that they released Enhanced Edition, and it's also nice that they have a playable demo ready during the Kickstarter campaign, which shows that they are very serious about the game's development. Inside of the demo, they realized what was great about Shock 1 and what made it atmospheric. The slow movement, the deliberate feeling combat, the art style. I mean, the game looks really freaking pretty. And they kept in the sirens and background noise in the voice clips. They have a crack team at the ready, including the original concept artist for System Shock 1, and other trusted veterans like Chris Alvalone, which is really nice to see. The soundtrack is great, different from the high techno of the first game, but as far as I know, the original score will be remixed and added in as an option, so it's best both worlds. Some things I don't like. The interface does not have that inventory thing I talked about last time. You know, the biggest thing about System Shock. This concerns me a little, but there is a 2-slot quick weapon switch, and the inventory is quick to bring up and put down, though it is the full screen unpause type. I'm not sure why it needs to take up the whole screen. There's a lot of real estate on the screen left for some quick use slots or something, and given the situational use of most of the patches, that would be more than nice. Also, where are the multifunction displays for the weapons? It's a real flaw because I can't see how hot the spark beam is getting in the demo, and you can't shoot it when it's overheated. So if you set it to the highest setting and like shoot it twice, it's just, you know, you can't shoot it again. So that makes all the higher settings basically useless. Whereas in the first game, the higher and lower settings were pretty useful. They each had their uses. And the navigation unit is not in the game, like the auto map. The game's only 10 minutes long, but it would still been nice to see where that would have gone. Some other concerns come up from the typical history of projects like these. Will they rush it out the door? Will they dumb it down for the quote modern gamer audiences? The gameplay seems fine and not too easy in the demo, but it shows us nothing about the rest of Citadel Station. It shows us nothing about the level design. And in System Shock, the complex level design is extremely important to reinforce the feeling of powerlessness and to make you feel firsthand how small you are and how big this station is and how much control Shodan has over you. And from a gameplay perspective, the exploration of the station is the key to what makes System Shock really good. Night Dive seems to have a great team who care a lot about the games and System Shock, and aren't under the repressive regime of a publisher like EA, but I can't help but feel that they will try to linearize the game or make it way too AAA-like to try to compete with AAA games. I really, really hope I'm wrong, but I'm not going to back it and instead watch the project very, very carefully. Am I hype about the remake? Yeah. Do I think it will turn out well? I've been disappointed too many times to answer this question with a yes. Night Dive has a real opportunity here. If they pull it off, they can make one of the best games of all time even better, and I seriously think they could do that. Even if they succeed, though, it kind of bugs me they're calling it System Shock as if it was a replacement, like calling it System Shock. If it turns out good, that'll be nothing more than an annoyance. But if it turns out bad, it will be a scourge upon the earth. Naming a remake the same as the original is an act of hubris and makes the expectations of the game even higher, so it draws suspicion from me. Makes me feel like they're overconfident, but this team does have substance to back them up. So keep an eye on this remake. It, no matter what happens, is going to be really interesting to see.